You heard it right. Our soil is dying, and we, as a generation, have a responsibility to save it for our future generations. Do you know that the soil is the largest living system on the earth? 95% of the food that we eat directly or indirectly comes from the soil. The health of the soil, hence, is very important for the health of our species. But 52% of the soil around the world has already degraded. We're losing one football field every second. By 2045, the research says if we go on like this, there will be 9.2 billion people in the world and 40% lesser food. And that is when the guys with the biggest guns will take it all. This is not the future that we want for our children. The present itself is showing the signs. The developed countries are talking about climate change, global warming, and whatnot. The underdeveloped and the developing countries are suffering because of the floods, the droughts, the unpredictable rain and snow patterns, landslides, and more. All of this is hinged around 51 billion tons of carbon dioxide and the greenhouse gas emissions that we do every year in the name of existence, industrialization, or growth. Growth that is coupled with the migration of people from rural settings into the urban settings, straining the cities, and then eventually causing unrest. Now, the United Nations knows all of this, and in COP27, they finally declared that there is a possible solution which is scalable, reliable, and long-term. They call it the health of soil. And the solution is right under our feet. Now, let me tell you what is healthy soil. The difference between dirt and soil is the organic content. So if you remove the organic content from the soil, it becomes dirt. And for the soil to be called healthy, we need to have 3 to 6% organic content in it. As we are standing now, the dirt part of it, the normal agricultural soils have gone down to about 0.5 to 1.5% organic content. A handful of healthy soil has 8 billion microorganisms, more than all of us on the planet, a handful. And these microorganisms are very important to build up the closed-loop carbon cycles, which were very important for our life actually to exist. Now, the healthy soil is also has the capacity to basically hold carbon more than the plants and the atmosphere put together. And this sequestered carbon into the soil is very important for the nutrient value of the food and also to take away the carbon from the atmosphere. The healthy soil is also the largest water reservoir because it's loose and it's permeable. The water that drops on it gets absorbed. The soil holds the water, stores the water, and provides it back to the plants and the trees when they require it. The healthy soil will also improve the yields and the nutrient value of the foods that we eat there. But what exactly is happening? You know, the aware and the awakened farmers have actually gone down to regenerative farming. Regenerative farming is all about using rotating the cash crops, keeping the cover crops, integrating the livestock within the farms, using less pesticides and chemicals, and increasing the biodiversity of the soil. Now, Sikkim is a very small state in India, and they declared in 2003, after the Green Revolution of India was booming, they declared in 2003 that they wanted to go completely organic. And last year, they declared themselves as a completely organic state. Now, the governments are making efforts to do that. But but before that, maybe what I can share with you is that a lot of us in this room here are pretty detached to this problem because we live in urban settings. Our food comes from the supermarket. Our air-conditioned temperature define what the global warming is. If it's warm outside, we can cool it off inside. And we literally get very tone deaf to the crying planet. But one thing that's common between these suffering people and us, my friends, is that in the next 30 to 40 years, we will be gone from the planet. Left will be our children, who will then be thinking that what were we thinking at this point of time and spoiling the planet. So the next question I've been asked during the last couple of days with a lot of friends who have spoken about Save Soil is, what can we do as individuals? While the governments are looking at the environmental changes and the environmental issues, we as individuals can look at civic issues. Reduce the use of the material as much as we can. I will not get into the vegan versus the vegetarian versus the meat eaters debate. That's a sensitive one. But let me tell you a fact. For 1 calorie of red meat that we eat, we need to produce 7 calories of livestock feed. And that's a lot of load we put on the planet to produce tender, rare, or well-done steaks. We can be reusing, recycling, and rethinking of what we can actually use. As a collective, what we can do is, as part of democratic society, we can be the voice and the vote for the soil. The QR code talks about a movement called the Conscious Planet and the Save the Soil movement that I'm kind of promoting here. Please click onto the QR code and get on to the movement. Basically, we can be the earth buddies. We as leaders, L-E-A-D-E-R-S, can be the voice, because when we speak, the Stanford graduates speak, people stand and listen. So join in the movement, become the voice. Jen, for instance, thanks Jen, is a CEO of an organization in the Philippines. She was an early mover with me, and she joined me in promoting it in her organization. So there are various ways that we as leaders can get on with this movement. Now, I am guilty as charged. I traveled half the globe, increased my carbon footprint to be here with you guys, while I could have done it on a Zoom call. And that's what one of my friends suggested when I was telling him that I'm going to do this. But let me tell you, I'm also consciously trying to increase my carbon handprint. I'm planting trees. I'm making sure that I reduce my usage of a lot of other stuff and trying to get more green. I'm a vegetarian by choice, and that makes me one of those who is only consuming 1 calorie of it there. But for me, coming down here, friends, was an investment that I made for the fact that this cause is important for my children's mere existence. It's important for the children next doors, the children of my city, the children of the planet, probably your loved ones and yours. And this is a cause that I would request all of you to lean in, because we, I think, have extracted enough from the planet. It is time for us to give back, because the planet is not a legacy that we took from our parents. It is something that we borrowed from an unborn child. And the solution is right under our feet. And I would say it's in our hands. Thank you.